Well, you know what I saw? I saw a really good effort from the guys we wanted to take a look at from start to finish. I thought our guys played a solid 60 minutes. I think at the end, I think we outshot San Antonio 40-16, and but we saw a lot of good things out of the kids that we hadn't seen play before, and it was good. We get a chance to evaluate them, and they may not make our team, but some point in time during the year, we're going to need to call guys up from Idaho, and we get a good chance to see these kids firsthand. And then if we need to call a player up, we have a bit of an idea what they can do and how they play. So it was a good chance for us last night, and give our guys a lot of credit. They played a pretty solid game and put a great effort in.
With Ken Hitchcock taking over in Dallas, you talked about with these players, it's going to be some new terminology and a couple of new things to learn. Also for you guys as a coaching staff, you're learning some new terminology. Do you feel like the players are starting to get that new terminology and some of those new wrinkles, or is it still kind of a feeling out process?
It's a little bit of a teaching process, B-Ray. We've only had 2 days of full practice with 30 guys on the ice. So moving forward here on Monday, when we get down to our numbers, we can get a better feel for where we want to go with our teaching process and the terminology and the systems. It's not a lot of huge changes. Most of these guys have been, skating for a week and a half with Dallas training camp. So moving forward is just reiterating what we're trying to teach, and it's just repetition. And so it should come pretty easy now.
The NHL has seen a lot of special team situations during their preseason games. You had 9 power play opportunities, I believe, last night. Some of the rules are just kind of getting checked on or reinforced or tweaked a little bit. Are you feeling a trickle-down effect at all after you've seen a preseason game?
Yeah, we did last night. I thought the refs did a pretty good job of trying to let the game flow a little bit, but we had 5 slashing calls last night with both teams. I think the penalties were 9-5 or 9-6 for us, and I think we went 1 for 9 in the power play. We just rolled the 4 lines last night and we wanted to see these kids and evaluate them. Tonight we'll condense it down to 2 units, and then we'll start working towards the guys we want to have here next week. But there were a lot of calls. At times it did slow the game down a little bit. But at the end of the day, I like the slashing calls. You don't want to see a player break a finger or break a hand because of a slash. I know the ECHL last year had 14 major surgeries on hands because of slashing calls. So I think the league-wide ECHL, American League, NHL, they're trying to clamp down on it. And there are some vicious slashes out there. So I'm not sure if it'll fall off as the season goes along, but I hope that there's a certain standard set in place where players are going to learn, they're going to figure it out, and I think it's a good thing for the game.
Do you notice anything with face-offs and in the face-off circle? That's kind of been a point of contention in this preseason for the NHL, but with our roster specifically, it's a lot of centermen on this team. You've got a lot of guys down the middle to work with. What'd you notice in the face-off circle?
It wasn't as tight as the NHL, but they did kick some guys out. We didn't have any delay of game calls, but I like the fact that there was some teaching going on in the game. I think it was Lucas Bisbee came out to one of our guys on the bench. He actually talked about the face-off with one of our players. So I like the fact that the referees and linesmen were teaching with our guys a little bit. We had a few guys kicked out, but we didn't have any of the secondary infractions where we ended up getting a penalty.
What kind of lineup do you roll tonight? Preseason game number 2, but it's also the final tune-up before the season begins in less than a week.
We're going to play tonight most of the guys that should make our team, that the veterans. We have to sit 1 veteran out tonight because we have 7. That being said, we're going to play 6, 5 with 1 exempt. And then we don't have enough bodies, so some guys that played last night will get another look tonight. So Mike McKenna will go in net tonight. Landon Bull will back up. And then on the back end, you'll see guys like Bodnarchuk, Regner, Hetherington, Mangine. I think Hansen's in tonight, and then Bystrom's in. So we'll play a pretty full lineup as close as we can get to for opening day.
Is the intention to play McKenna the full 60 tonight, or are you looking to split some duties?
Yeah, Mike will get the full 60 tonight. We split both kids last night. Both kids worked hard. No, they've had pretty good training camp, so we have a tough decision moving forward here who's going to be the backup. But that's a bonus for us, and both kids have worked hard, so we'll see where that ends up.